And hey, everybody, welcome to the Raw Online Report. Today's guest, you know this guy, two-time Classic Physique Olympia champion, recently announced he is making the move back to where he started years ago, 212 Bodybuilding. Please welcome from Los Angeles, Breon Ansley. Breon.
Hey, Ron, good to always speak to you. And I know it's something special. I know we got something a juicy coming up when you always ask me to interview with you. So ready to rock.
I don't contact you just to chit chat. It's always when something
just to say, hey, how's it hanging out there? Even though we got the fires going on in LA, so
that's what I want to ask you. How are you doing? Where is that in relation to where you are?
Not too close. Just the smoke is kind of close. So the air quality is kind of bad with one of the cities next to me, Van Nuys, and they had to evacuate just for one day. But I think I'm safe now. But we got winds coming back. We have winds coming back today, tomorrow, the next day. So we have to still be on guard.
Yeah. I'm praying for you and everybody because, man, I can't imagine losing my house. I know it's just material things and it's a building, but you don't want to lose your damn house and all your possessions. That's all.
No, it's tough, man. It's tough. But and the thing is, you just never know like how much of LA is going to be the same now,
Yeah. Let's move on to happier things, more bodybuilding related stuff. You have been talking about moving to 212 for a while now. Let me set this up for people. There have only been 9 Classic Physique Olympia contests ever. You have been top 4 in all of them except the last one where you dropped down one place. You are the only person who has competed in every single Classic Physique Olympia contest, first of all, and you've never been lower than 5th. And before that, you were never lower than 4th. So what a crazy good, the best track record in Classic, really. Obviously, Bump Sit has more wins overall, but you've been there since day one. No one else has done what you've done in terms of consistency. People have been wondering, why would he walk away from that? So this is something I know you've been thinking about, and it was not an easy decision, I'm sure. So what finally made you decide it's time for something else?
Well, man, it's first of all a multitude of things, but if you're gonna pin me down to one thing, Ron, I would probably say just it hit me that the older you get, man, the more the older you get, and the harder it's going to be to put on a significant amount of muscle. And I've been working so hard, like just training, like I have been wanting to put on muscle since 2016. So over the last 9 years, but I haven't been able to do it. So it's like, go ahead and do it, man. The time is now, at 45 now. And then to combine it with all that, you have the Classic division growing so drastically. I see from year to year, the look, right? And then I'm one of the specific competitors, Ron, that has to lose muscle every year when you have these gnarly looks every single year that really still have room to go to gain more muscle into the division. So I'm like, well, the speed at which this is going, I need to play to all my advantages.
So you're 45. I had you as 44. I was giving you that extra year, but okay.
Yeah, just turned in November. Just turned 2 months ago. So
it's hard to tell looking at you because no wrinkles, no saggy skin, nothing. You still look very fresh and youthful.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm just trying to still capitalize on this freshness.
Yeah, because that's your age. As soon as you said you were switching to 212, that's the first thing people harped on. Is he's so old. He's 44, 45. Most of us we knew you're somewhere in the mid 40s. But like I said, I know you have been keeping yourself from growing for a very long time, which I'm trying to figure out because I've never been in that position. Most of us, me and the rest of normal human beings who aren't superheroes like you, we train, and we never get as big as we want to. We try to make those gains. They just never happen because genetically it's not in the cards. So that's one level of frustration. But imagine knowing you have those genetics to grow, but you can't, because then you can't compete in your chosen division where you were the best in the world 2 years in a row, and you were still in that winner's circle of top 4, top 5 every single year. So was that frustrating knowing that? I don't know how you went in the gym and train your ass off knowing, well, I can't grow. I better not grow or else.
Yeah, it was frustrating, but I was able to keep the frustration at bay because obviously if you're going to be at the top, then you're going to be able to hold your own at the top. That's going to be some incentive to that you could get better and you can keep improving, and the title is just within reach. So that kept me there. That kept me there and kept me going and kept the fire going and the enthusiasm going with training hard and seeing how we can improve and how we can measure up from year to year.
How did you? But this is what I want to know, because I'm sure your body wanted to grow. It was primed to grow. It was trying to grow. How did you keep it from growing? Because I know you could have been, geez, I'm going to throw a crazy number. I bet you could have been like 195, 205 easily any time you would want to be in the same condition, but you had to diet down. So did you have to limit your food, limit, certain special supplements, keep things to a bare minimum, or else kaboom, I'm out of my division?
All of the above. Limit everything and limit the anabolics, limit limit the food. Maybe just increase the cardio a little bit more. Limit the food for sure all year round, because it's like, okay, where's the number at? Where are my pounds? Okay. And if I get over a certain amount of pounds, maybe like in the 215, 220 range, that's too high. So I always had to stay around 210, 205, always, no matter what, Yeah. And then of course, limiting anabolics to not, allow your body to kind of expand and capitalize on those. So it was limiting for sure, all limiting. And then, every year we would say, oh, okay, you're looking great. And you probably about maybe 1 or 2 weeks out, but where is the scale? Where's the weight at? So no matter what you're looking like, we had to say, oh, okay, well, the weight is still up there. The weight is still a little too high. We have to take the deficit down a little bit more and check back in.
I remember, when were you in Kuwait with Chris? Was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Well, we were just there. Yeah, we were just there last year again, but that first year was in 2018.
Okay, because I don't know if it was that long ago, but I remember interviewing you while you were over there, and you were only eating tilapia and water.
That's got to be in 2018, because at that year, I had to get down to 180 pounds.
Wow.
180. Okay. So I'm sure I was just doing, I was no carbs for like 5 weeks straight. I was no carbs for like 5-6 weeks straight back then in 2018, because that was a 180-pound cap.
This was 2018 Arnold. You won that. You won the second Olympia title the same year. So this is back when the weight cap was 180.
Yeah.
Some people, when did they raise the cap? In 2023 for the last time, I think it was? Or was it last year?
Yeah, just last year.
Oh, last year. So that's when they put it to 187 for your height.
Yeah.
And do you remember hearing that the rumor was that they raised the weight cap just to keep you in Classic? Did you hear that?
I did not hear that. I did not hear because it was just for me. But that's if there's any truth to that, that is definitely I definitely appreciate that so very much, and I'm very, very thrilled and excited and touched and blessed for them to do that, because I love Classic. Classic is I love Classic. I fell in love with Classic, the look, the posing, the presentation, and everything. But it's and it's fine. I just needed maybe about 10 more pounds, man. Always.
Yeah.
That's it. Just about 10 to 12 more pounds always.
So that was 180. Take a look at what you look like at 187. This is, you won another show. You won Dubai. It's, when you do shows other than Olympia, there's not many people who are going to show up that can possibly beat you. So that's another reason people are like, why is he leaving? Because he could still be cleaning up at a lot of these classic shows, and the money's getting better. I think Dubai, especially, they're going to bump that way up.
That's going to be the 80,000 this year.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
Wow. I know.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad paycheck, because like last year for the Olympia classic winner got 60,000.
Yeah.
And the Arnold, it was the same, 60,000. So yeah, Dubai, they're showing up for the classic physique athletes for sure.
I know. Hey, trust me, Ron. That's why all those factors I weighed into my decision. It was very, very tough. So trust me.
Yeah, because I mean,
very tough.
It's not like the money's way worse in 212. The Olympia winner for that, Keon, just got 90,000. And
yes, I was surprised at that, and I didn't realize the 212 Olympia check prize was that high for 212. So I was very impressed by that.
Of course, Samson got $600,000. So
yes,
still a big disparity between divisions, obviously, but
yeah,
that's like I said, that had to make things tougher to see that classic is. They're getting more money into the prizes, and the division's only growing. And this unbeatable guy, Chris Bumstead, he's gone. I don't think we're ever going to. If we ever see him again, it'll be Giles thinks he'll get bored in a couple of years and come back as an open, because he's just going to be just no outlet for his competitive nature. So he'll come back bigger and better.
You think so?
I wouldn't put it past him, because he just turned 30 like a week ago. He's a kid. I mean, really going to retire? I know Lee Haney did, and he stayed retired, but I don't know. It's a different era.
He literally is still a kid. Jesus, just turned 30.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, because he's been around forever. It's like I find it hard to believe you're as old as you are. To me, you look the same as when I met you like 9-10 years ago. You haven't changed facially, and I don't think you're. I could tell you don't have the weird look that you're an LA guy. You've seen all the fillers and the startled expressions and the rubbery looking lips, and no names, of course, no names. But you know what I'm talking about.
I'm not gonna fall in. Just all I need to do is just stay in the gym, man, and keep competing, and I'll be just fine as far as the youthful look.
Right on. All right, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Now, so we don't talk about it. You did a video, and you were very transparent, and I knew that would get higher views than your typical video. You put your stack for the 2024 Olympia, and this is it. Tell me if I got it right. I took the notes well. 300 test, 300 mass, 300 primo, 200 trend. The Halo was just the last 2 weeks. You had Novadex in there. You had Arimidex and 4 IU HGH. That's like a maintenance dose that older people use. I'm not going to ask you to tell me what you would use if you were a 212-pound competitor, or, I think you're going to be around 205. I think you're going to look incredible at 205. But would this need to change? You don't need to tell me amounts, but would this suffice for a classic physique versus for a 212? I'm saying the same exact cycle that had you looking fantastic at 187. Could you use this to be 205, or would things have to increase a little bit?
Because this was the cutting. The pre-contest cycle here. So we're on. We're gonna just be doing a bulking one soon, a bulking phase soon, and we're gonna add in some things. Of course, my coach Brandon Gertis and we never need to use high doses of anything, but we're gonna add some bulking agents in there. Coming up maybe in a couple of weeks, to really try to put on some mass, because that cycle there is the pre-contest cycle, of focusing on just refinement and cutting it down, and then the look of the of the kind of the grooves and the separation. But we're gonna bulk up. And we're gonna do that for about a good probably 20 weeks here, 22 weeks, and do what needs to be done for this, to put on some mass for this 212 class.
I'm taking wild guess. I think in the off seasons, all this time I've known you, you've either been on nothing or you've been on a TRT dose. Am I right?
True. Very, very true. Yes.
Yeah, because I think we've both been around long enough to look at someone and go, oh, he's off now, or he's probably just on a TRT thing. And I've always seen you in the off season where smaller, softer. I said he's totally cleaned out. You know, the face, even, you know, you look like younger, everything. So I'm very curious to see what happens now that you can grow and you're going to be doing what it takes to let that muscle growth finally happen. I don't think you're in danger of outgrowing the 212 class. I don't think you're going to be necessarily like 220 or 230 ripped, but again, like 205, maybe even 210. Do you have any numbers in your head where you're thinking
around there? Around there. Those are the numbers in my head. Around a good 205, 210. You know, ripped up, man, ripped up to the bone. And then this time I'm so excited too, because if I'm able to hold on to all my muscle, that's gonna make the density and the quality, and you know, just bring out the separation and the groove, the deep lines, the grooves, that much more than I'm able to hold on to all this muscle, which I'm so happy to, you know, take advantage of, and for that look to truly come out, you know, from all this hard work.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's been a point in every diet you've done over the last 8-9 years where you were ready to go, but you still had another 5, 10, 12 pounds to lose.
Yeah.
What was that weight? What's that weight been the last couple preps, roughly?
The weight was, I'm ready to go at like 120, 192.34. At 192.34, ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to rock. And you know, it doesn't seem like I need to lose a single pound to be ready.
Right.
But then I had to, you know, for the longest I had to lose another 12, and then just recently another 5. But still, even that 5, even losing another 5, like I said, you know, when you look at the growth and the development of the classics division from year to year now, man, you need to hold on to every single pound of muscle you have.
Yeah. I mean, I meant to ask you about that. You know, if anybody has seen the evolution of the class up close and personal, it's you, because you've been there from day one.
Absolutely.
What has the biggest change? Do you see it getting more like bodybuilding, where the physiques are just getting bigger and harder?
I do. I mean, because I've seen it.
Yeah.
That seems like it's been on that trajectory, Ron, since the last. I mean, especially like the last, I would say, right around COVID. Okay, so around the last 4 years or so, since about 2020, I've been like, wow, looking at these guys in backstage, like, how did you make weight? How did you make weight? How did you make weight? They looking huge back there.
I mean,
and no, and even so for last year, for a guy like Mike Summerfield, right? He looked huge. He looked like open guy. He looked like a damn near open guy to me.
Yeah.
You know, he looked very close like an open guy. I mean, just with a lot of mass, with a lot of density, with great conditioning and separation, and he has room to still go up in his class, in his weight class. So can you believe it? I mean, you got guys like that looking like that who still have room. It can look like it can be a really miniature version already of the open.
I mean, because think about these classic guys, the taller ones like Wesley and Bumstead, their height and weight is pretty much what was the maximum size for a pro bodybuilder in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You know, it's like 6 foot 240. That was a huge guy back then. And now
that was about Lee Haney, right?
Yeah, I mean, Lee Haney at the very end, 5'11", 252 or something, but he started winning Olympias 84. I think he said he was only 240 at his first Olympiad. He put on like 2 pounds a year, something like that.
Yeah. So there you go. They're about 250. Chris is around 250, 255 when he carbs all up and finally gets on stage on that Saturday night.
So, obviously we don't know who the heir apparent's going to be. Sommerfeld people automatically assume whoever the runner-up is, but we've both been around long enough to see that doesn't happen all the time. In fact, a lot of times it's somebody you weren't even expecting. Like I wasn't expecting Summerfield at this last show. I think he had been fifth, was the best he ever did.
Right.
I thought he was very good. I didn't see him pushing for the title anytime soon. So you never know. But you got the front seat to this division. You're in contact with all these guys. Who do you see it coming down to now that you're out of the equation?
Well, I mean, since Mike really pushed Chris to the brink last year, and then you think about what he just said, that he still has room to go and to grow into his weight cap. Man, that's going to be something hard to beat, because who's more muscular than him? Who is more conditioned than him? Nobody.
Yeah,
nobody. On down to maybe, as far as muscularity and all that, I probably was the closest. But I think he had me on conditioning. I think he has me on, a little bit more roundness and a little bit more 3D, because he's able to hold on to all his pounds. He's able to hold on to all his pounds. And like I said, even has room to grow, to where I don't think Ramon has room to grow into it. I don't think Urs has room to grow into it.
Right.
And Terrence is coming back this year, who'll be right there. It'll be exciting to see, because I knew he took last year off to put on some size. He has room to grow into it. So I think you're probably. I'm going to go with Mike, man. I'm going to go with Mike, being that the reason, one of the main reasons being he has room to still go into it. And I know he's competing. He won't, he'll probably look the same at this Arnold, because that's not enough time. But after he finishes his Arnold and maybe shuts it down before the Olympia, that'll be his time to put it on.
Yeah, I mean, you must have been tempted to do one more classic show like the Arnold, because there's always the spacing is not that far apart. It's like, well, I could just do the one more of the Arnold. That's good money. And then, then I have all the time. I could, because I assume you want to make your 212 debut this year at some point. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
This year at some point, looking at it like an August, September date.
Okay. So let's see what we got around. We got Tampa around that time. We got Chicago around that time. Texas around that time. You have some really, really good shows to choose from. Those are all great shows.
Oh, yes.
What am I missing? Dubai?
I don't know. Maybe in Miami, when the one is around that time, is it?
Is there one in Miami too? Okay. Dubai has a 212 as well, right? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Tim Gardner. Does he have a 212 around that time? I don't know.
Well, every Tim Gardner show does, and the Chicago and Tampa, they're both like July, August.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of options, because that's of course my next question is, what's the game plan? You've never really had an off season, or at least for many, many years, you haven't had a true off season where the goal was to grow and put new muscle tissue on. So that has to be super exciting for you.
Oh, 1,000%, 1,000%. Just to see, now, Breon, how round can I get? How much muscle can I put on this frame, and how is it going to look? Because I've always run muscularity wise. I've always looked at myself and been like, compared to how hard I'm working with the real deal.
Yeah.
I think I can. It's not quite. It doesn't quite look like what I want it to look like. It doesn't quite look like how much muscle is equal to the amount of workload that I'm exerting.
Yeah, I want to mention Chris, because Giles and I said something about well, we don't know what he's going to do for Lunsford, because these guys all know how to train. It's Sean says no, we need to coach. So you can give me some perspective. Obviously, you know how to train, but what's the difference between training on your own and having someone like Chris Cormier pushing you in the gym?
Oh, it's a big difference. It's a big difference. I mean, I'm with those First of all, I'm going to say technique wise, and for the specific muscles, getting down to the specific muscles that we're trying to bring up, because I don't have the exact same eye that Chris has when I'm posing. So as we're posing, Chris is seeing the details, what needs to come up, what needs a little bit more development, what needs a little bit more sharpness, what needs this, what needs that. So he takes that into the gym with the specific exercises, with the specific technique, and then with you definitely can't beat, pushing like Chris will push you till failure, another 10 to 15 reps on top of what you would already have stopped beforehand to do training on your own.
Yeah. So I'm curious because you have a very proportionate, symmetrical physique. I've never looked at you and said, "Ah, shit, he really has a weak this or that." At one point I thought your quads were starting to go away on you, but it looks like you've done. I think what I'm seeing in that is just over dieting and cardio to get to body weight, which I expect your quads. I don't think you're going to put a bunch of new muscle. I think the muscle that was there that was being dieted away and stairmastered away, I think that's going to come back. But when Chris looks at you, what does he see? Not just overall mass, but certain aspects of physique that he wants to see improve.
I think we want to see. I think what we know is going to happen is just we're going to see my width and my depth hold together. My width with the lats, my width with with a little bit more flair to the quads, even my back depth, and the chest fullness will be able to hold that together and keep that. Those are the kind of all the main areas that withered away, man, with the deficit and the cardio. So to keep those together, I think we're definitely we're excited to hold it together, and for those areas to really just keep the same pop. Because like you said, Ron, even with the amount of time that we're talking about hitting the stage, we don't have too much time. I mean, if I was going to give it like super ample time, it would have been taking this whole year off.
Yeah.
That would have been super ample time to really, come out like gangbusters and put on some serious mass. So we have about 5 months here. Yeah, we have about 5 months here to do some damage. Before it's time to get ready to be ready to get close to showtime. So, but that's enough time around anyway, because I don't think I'm, it's not like I think I'm too far off, and I'm too far away from being able to compete right away, and to be able to be, compete right up there with the best immediately.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I think you're in a similar situation to anyone who's competed, and especially if they've taken it a little bit too far and come in really over dieted and depleted. Then when the show's over, that rebound where you're eating a ton of food, you're not doing much cardio at all, and we've both seen people make tremendous gains right after a show like that. I think you're in that. Your body's in a similar situation where it's like a sponge. It's going to be just ready to finally get all the food, everything that's been needing for years now. So I'm pretty excited for you.
Very excited. Absolutely. Same. You throw that one in there.
Yeah. Well, I made a crack on it. I said, I know what you're saying. My wife and I are a year and a half apart, or a year and 3 months. That's a joke.
Oh, that's it. You guys are damn near the same age.
Yeah. September 1969, and she was December 1970. But yeah, you go, you crazy kids. Of course, you look like you're about 35 years old. Breon. It all makes sense. No, I'm just rifling through the Instagram. It's a pretty good page. Not everybody keeps up with their Instagram and their YouTube. YouTube is the same name, guys. It's Breon Ansley. Great videos on there. Check it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the last question is, I'm sure you've been watching the 212 division, and the two top dogs for the last couple of years now have been Keon and Sean, two very, very different type of physiques. And I think That's apples and oranges. I think you're going to be a pear. You're going to be something completely different from either one of those.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where you fall into the mix.
Same here.
Keon's got that pretty shape. He's not massive. Sean is like a little tank, comes in granite hard, and we don't know. You're kind of a question mark because we've never seen what you're fully capable of. We've seen sort of like the train. What's the word I'm looking for? The training wheels. We've seen a version of you that wasn't what you were fully capable of. Let's just leave it at that. Sure. I've seen them. I see the muscle bellies, the structure, and I always knew this guy, if he had a chance to grow, and I'm like, is he ever going to do it though? Because he's already at this point. I was thinking a few years ago, he's already like 40. He's probably just going to stay in Classic till he's done. So, even though I might not be 100% confident of you taking out Keon Pearson, because good Lord, he's just so damn good. I'm excited to see what you bring, because no one can really, not even people like me who've been around for 1,000 years. We don't know what you're going to look like. We have no idea what you're going to bring to that stage. And it's one of the things I'm already excited about for the Olympia. That's damn near a year away. So thanks for some early Olympia excitement, Breon.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here to bring it to us all. But I'm the same way. I mean, I carry the same sentiment that you guys that you do, Ron, and everybody else is. I'm very excited because I don't know either. I don't know either how I'm going to look, man, and how I'm going to fare. Well, I know that I can be competitive, but I just want to see the look. I'm ready to see the look. I'm ready to, like I was talking about before, I'm ready to finally see, okay, that physique right there looks like all the hard work that I've been putting in the weight room, all the discipline that I have, that I'm doing to make sure that I'm eating the meals. That look right there. I have yet to see that look. So I will be able to see that look finally, hopefully this year in this division. And let me say also, a big reason of what helped me make this decision was Keon's look. Keon's look and the prowess and the prowess that Keon has right now. I was like, wow, Keon is really looking powerful, really looking strong. And he has just a massive Classic look. He has a lot of mass with the Classic look. He kept the Classic look. Remember, Keon came from Classic.
Right.
Yeah. And so he has that look. He has that look on like, I'm sure he's looking like, okay, yeah, now he has the look on that he's happy with working that hard and putting in all the work that it takes to want to see those type of results on stage, and with the final form. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to competing alongside Keon, Sean, two great friends of mine. And I respect the hell out of those champs for sure. And, as another champ, man, they know that I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm not going to be doing this to try to, just make it easy for them either. So they know I'm coming.
Quick question. Did you watch the last Power Hour with me and Giles talking about you?
I did not.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you right now, we both had our doubts about you making this move. So people are going to put it in the comments like, Ron, you're a freaking two-faced bastard. You said this, that. Yes, I do have my doubts. Am I 100% certain a guy who's 45 years old can put on all this muscle mass and stand next to tanks like Clarita and Angel and those guys? Yes, I have my doubts. But I love being proved wrong. I love it, love it, love it. I've been proved wrong a million times, and every time I'm happy about it because somebody did something that I was like very skeptical they would be able to accomplish. It's not going to be easy road for you. A lot of people are not going to be believing in you. There's going to be doubts, naysayers, shit talkers. So it's a great chance for you to pop up later this season and like, haha, how you like me now? So please prove me wrong and show everybody what you're really capable of. I'm here for it. So
absolutely. And that that's where I have everybody right where I want them. That's the sweet spot. That's what we want. Ron, I'm sure I've proved you wrong in some of these classic Olympias already that you probably didn't have me placing a certain way. And then, I've still had my mug in there, but right. But I know, and believe me, I know it's not going to be an easy road, and I know it's, nothing's going to be given to me in that division, and I'm going to have to work my tail off. To be honest with you, though, I'm not going to be working my tail off. I'm not going to be working or doing anything as far as in the weight room any harder or anything like that, any type of extra type of warrior in the weight room. That's all going to stay the same because I've always been that.
Yeah.
Just some details with diet and anabolics will change, some minor ones, not anything major with that either. But it's just about about holding on to everything that I have, and then okay, let's see if we can put on about maybe three to four.
Yeah. Well, it's not that different from what Bumstead did, because he didn't want to leave the sport without ever getting to try an open show and see what he would look like without the weight cap, which for him, I think it was only about 5 pounds, 6 pound difference between the Olympia and Prague, but it was was that it? I think it was like 6, 7 pounds. And
I'm not sure.
Whatever. He's 6'1.5". So you're what are you, 5'6"?
Yes.
So 5'6", let's say I see a 10-pound increase being very, very possible, very feasible. 187 classic, 197 as a 212 guy. And 10 pounds on a guy of your height is a lot more dramatic than 7 pounds of a guy who's 6'1.5". So good things to look forward to. I'm here. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat waiting for you to walk out that first time. Because
absolutely. And let me also say, because you mentioned it, let me not show any disrespect to any of the other 212 guys, because this is important for me to say, because I remember when some classic guys were coming up in the years and they were like, oh, I'm going to take down Chris Bumstead. And I'm like, wait a minute. Don't you know how many guys you have to go through to get to the number one guy? You better put some respect on the other top guys in the division. So let me definitely put some respect on Angel. Let me definitely put some respect on Kareth. Let me definitely put some respect on Ahmad. And those guys. Let me put some respect on their name for sure, because they've been in the game for years. And there's some heavy hitters. So I'll put some respect on their name, give them the respect that's due. But now as a competitor, it's time to come for them. You know what I mean? With a smile.
You know what? Yeah, it's kind of weird that we always have to say that. No disrespect to the guys, but there's only one winner at the end of the night. There's only It's not a team sport. There's no ties, so everyone's there to win.
Absolutely.
If you're not training to win a show, you're really not there, because you're not putting 100% into the prep. If you go into a show thinking there's no way I can beat this or that guy, you've already lost. So
1,000%, absolutely.
You're a competitor at a very high level for many years. So I expect nothing less than for you to feel like I'm going in these shows to win everything. You have to. That's got to be it, man.
The only way.
You've won many shows, so you know what it's like to be up there. You're a true champ. Well, that's it, man. I've taken up enough of your time and then some. So, guys, check out Breon. That's his Instagram, Breon MA_. Great channel on YouTube, right here on YouTube, called Breon Ansley. There's a lot of pancake eating on that. For those of you who love to see that stuff go down, earn your pancakes. And there's links on there for all his merch and stuff. So if you want your Earn Your Pancake shirt, that's where you get them, right? All right. So
absolutely.
That's it. I will be eagerly following you on Instagram and YouTube, watching this progress. I want to watch you get some good solid gains over the next few months, and then watch you take it all down to a brand new package we've never seen before. It's going to be exciting. All right. So thank you very much, Breon Ansley. Thank you guys all for watching.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.